So it seems very contradictory that even though both my parents are Southerners and my father is a 20 plus year active veteran in the Army, that I never actually shot a gun before I was the age of 18. And as a matter of fact, I had never even seen a real gun before I went to cadet basic training at the United States Military Academy in New York. So when I got there and I was first handed my rifle, as you can imagine, I was extremely intimidated at the fact that I would have to actually work with a rifle all summer. But with diligent training, and proper technique, I felt a lot more comfortable with the situation I was in. And so today I want to pass off a lot of tips and tricks to you. So today we're going to be using an AR-15. It's a very similar weapon system to the M16, which is the semi-automatic rifle that I personally learned how to shoot with. And we can easily just get started. As one of my instructors at West Point once said, Mr. H, posture before propulsion. Always make sure that you have proper technique before you're ready to pull the trigger, and that's with any skill. Now the prone position begins with you laying flat on your stomach. It's the safest and most stable position to be in because you're low lying to the ground, which means that there's a less likely of a chance that the enemy will be able to see you. So it's always good. Now, prone, as I said, begins on your stomach with the rifle in your hand as so. Keep a sturdy grip on the rifle. Don't do this. Firm, nice and firm. And from here, you want to dig the buttstock of the rifle deep into the meaty part of your trigger finger shoulder. So, as you can see, the buttstock deep into there as you're holding it. Now, one of the best things you can have in the prone position is a support object to rest the rifle on. Now, normally in the Army, they have sandbags for this. I don't have sandbags. So today, we have a handy dandy backpack to simulate it. So you dig the magazine of your rifle deep into the support object, drive your shoulder, the meaty part of your shoulder, into the buttstock, and from there, look through the sight post, aim, fire. Now, one of the big things is that in combat, you're not always going to be able to have time to prepare the support object. So if you're the prone, sometimes you won't have one, so you're forced to simply rely on your elbows. Now, I'm not going to lie, this is definitely the most uncomfortable shooting position to be in, having your elbows support most of the weight of your shoulder and the rifle, and your entire torso pretty much. So it's also very handy though, because you can get up and out quicker than if there's a support object right in front of you. So continue driving the buttstock into the meaty part of your shoulder, look through the sight post, aim, fire. Now, one thing that I really, really recommend, in fact, it's probably the most important part of being in the prone position with shooting, is your leg placement. So, as you can see, as I'm shooting, my legs, my heel is not in the air. My legs are lying flat on the ground. You don't want to keep your heels in the air because it's possible that the enemy can shoot you from there. You can shoot your heels, shoot the upper part of your calf. No. Keep your legs flat on the ground and keep your legs out wide. Now, be as comfortable as you can, so don't have them out too wide, but wide enough to where you feel comfortable. As you're in your shooting position, don't move, don't fidget as you're shooting, as you're pulling the trigger, because that will throw off your shot. Get in good position, hold, breathe, squeeze, fire. Good job. Now, there will be times that you are not going to be able to have the luxury of being in the prone position. In that case, you're going to have to be in the kneeling position. Now, the kneeling position was actually the hardest one that I had to learn. And for some reason, that I was never really good at it until I had a lot of practice with it. So, there are multiple ways to be in the kneeling position. Today, I'm going to show you a personal preference of mine. So, I learned from my squad leader that he actually liked to sit down, put his shooting leg, is it the same leg that has a shooting arm, under the opposite arm, opposite other leg, pardon me. Take his rifle, dig into the meaty part, the buttstock of the meaty part of the shoulder, take his support arm, wrap it around his leg, and fire. This was how he shot, and this is how I actually learned how to be in the kneeling position. And I know you're sitting down, but it technically counts as the kneeling position. This is how he did it. Now, the big thing with the kneeling position is that you want to be as compact as possible. Again, like in the prone, you want to make it small of a target for the enemy. So you don't want to be, and some people do this, do not want to be all up and out, all fours. That's a no-go. Now, if you're not comfortable though sitting down, that's a-okay. There's another way you can do it. While staying as compact as possible, you can also sit on your butt, sit on your back foot. You can take your tricep, put it over your knee, and lean forward like that. Make sure again to keep the buttstock dug to the meaty part of your shoulder. Aim and fire. Now the last thing you can do is, and this was highly advised against, but this is how a lot of people learned. So sitting on my back heel, leg right here, take my elbow or my support arm, never bone to bone, never bone to bone. That can mess up your shot. Always bone to flesh. So take your elbow, your support arm, put it into the meaty part of your quadricep, aim, fire. From here, ready to go. There may be times where mobility is the #1 factor in the operation. And so you're not afforded the luxury of being in either the kneeling or the prone position respectively. And so with this, you must be proficient in the standing position. So the standing position begins with your feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent in a good athletic stance, holding the rifle up to eye level. Now make sure that you're not just looking through the sight post, but also the over the sight post and around the rifle, so that you know that you are not accidentally shooting one of your fellow comrades. And so from here in this position, I'm able to move forward, move back, and move side to side without issue. So I know that was a lot to give to you in such a brief video. So let's run back through the quick positions. There is the kneeling position, the prone position, and the standing position respectively. Remember, posture before pulsing, just like Mr. H always said. And then the more you practice these positions, the better a shot you'll be. Thank you.